Hello friends, welcome to the Indian Psychologist. I am Dr. Jitendra. Today we will be taking a look at this whole thing called religion and will it actually help you heal your psychological wounds? Being a psychologist and having been in this field for the past 15 years, I can tell you that we always have conflicting views as to what is to be considered scientific and what is not to be considered scientific. And it's extremely difficult for psychologists to agree on anything as something that would be helpful for their clients. But even when psychologists have a lot of differing opinions and various different methodologies, you can always see that a lot of people get help from psychologists and a lot of people actually do heal, immaterial of the kind of therapy that they went through. But in a country like India, where psychologists are often rare to find, and it is really difficult for a common man to get help from a psychologist because oftentimes they are more expensive than your medical doctor. Well, at least that is how it looks from the outside, because psychology or counseling is actually a talking cure and you are actually paying for the time of the counselor rather than paying for medicines. It actually works out to be difficult for the psychologist and the client as well. But in a country like this, where it is really difficult for the common man to get the help of a psychologist, mainly because of financial issues, you can still see that a lot of people having really difficult problems being able to cope with their lives and live a palpable life. That's more important, because we can never say that a man will be happy throughout his life, but a man can have a palpable life throughout his life by taking the positive with the negatives and so on and so forth. And when you dig deeper into what actually helps Indians whose minimum wages are in no way connected to what happens in the West and are actually living in very poor quality of life settings, you will begin to realize the power of spirituality. And when I say this word, the word spirituality or religion here, I am actually going to get a lot of flake from my fellow psychologists who think that psychology should strictly be a scientific discipline and things like religion and stuff like that should not be brought into the equation because it will cloud what is to be expected. But my point is this: I really don't want to get into the scientific discipline of psychology and if religions help people scientifically, but I can tell you that no matter what faith you are in, may it be Hinduism or Christianity or Islam, or you are a Buddhist or you are a Jain or you are a Sikh, no matter what, I have seen that people are able to get help from their spirituality. So one thing that we have to understand is that people have to have faith on something, have hope on something. And you might tell me that hope is a very dangerous thing, but then when life is suffering, it doesn't matter if the God exists or not, but the belief in God and believing that somebody is going to help you out, that hope is going to help you live a little longer, wait a little longer. And as we all know, everything comes with patience and everything gets better with patience. The longer you are able to wait it out, the better you are going to get. And rather than being skeptical of how these people are going to get to be patient, we just have to realize that if religion helps them to be patient, if spirituality helps them to be patient, and that is what it takes. It's better than actually taking any psychiatric drug, because at least it's not going to mess with your brain chemistry. But I do understand that psychiatric drugs are required for some cases, but not for all cases. And that is why I really believe that religion helps people, spirituality helps people. And you can debate with me as to why it should be a religion and why it can't be spirituality per se. But then it is really difficult for people to understand something on that level. Spirituality is an evolutionary process. And to get to that thought, you have to go through a lot of things. And for that, sometimes religion paves the way. So we cannot be picking and choosing as to what people are comfortable with, but we just have to understand that religion actually helps. Spirituality actually helps. And because of this religion and spirituality and the codes that are written in those religion and religious holy texts, people are able to form bonds, form communities, have better social life, better knit with families, and this actually helps them cope with life better. I understand that we still have issues, but it should have been much worse if not for this faith. So what I'm trying to convey from this entire video is that don't pick and choose on how your client gets better. And if you are a person who is having psychological issues and you are able to find hope in religion and you are able to find peace with religion and you think that it is actually making you feel better, then you must not feel guilty about it. And it goes the other way as well. It doesn't matter what religion you belong to. Every religion has their own way of developing coping mechanisms, and we can debate as to whether it is healthy or not, but you have to understand that it helps. In this channel, we'll also be discussing about how alternative forms of healing and alternative forms of therapy are going to help people. And it is most important for us to be open-minded about the whole equation, because what works for somebody might not work for somebody else. And because it does not work for somebody else, we cannot say that the person for whom it worked for is lying. We need to have a much more personalized, person-centered psychotherapy, like Carl Rogers said. And being in India, this is going to be really important for us to be able to help our clients. Thanks for watching this video. If you would like to receive more of these kinds of videos, you can push the subscribe button and share it to the people who might find this useful. Have a great time.